What's up, everybody? Hey, we're going to get started here in a second. Let's go. Let's go. All right. This is Robert Ferguson. Yes, this is Diet Free Life with Robert Ferguson, and I am your nutritionist. I'm a guy who shares because I care. And today, man, I'm just really sad to share with you what I'm going to share with you. But at the same time, we all would benefit from becoming aware of what we're going to talk about. So let's go ahead and bring the music to a halt. And just let me say welcome. I'm glad you guys are here who are catching me on the live. If you're catching the replay, you can still post your questions. I always go back, always check through and kind of see what's going on. And if you are new to my sharing, please know that I share because I care. And I just want people to be in a position where they can live their best and healthiest life. Now, if you're thinking about a new career, if you want to help other people, we do have a certification. And right now there's a discount. I mean, I would take advantage of it because 2024 is very clear that the data is in. One of the number one or fastest growing opportunities to make money, okay, to make a living, is by helping other people. Yes, you heard me correctly. Now, so you can learn more. There's links there if you want to jumpstart your weight loss. We also have a really cool detox drop program that shows you how to eat. So you're eating food, helps you understand what to avoid when you're giving your body that opportunity to rejuvenate. And it comes with the right supplements that are going to help you optimize that situation. Other than that, I want to get right into it. I really do. I'm going to talk to you today about this thing called weight cycling. And weight cycling, in short, is when people lose weight and then they gain it back. Lose weight and then they gain it back. You guys know anybody like that? Okay. You go to the doctor and they'll notice that you've lost weight and you gain it back and then you lose weight again. And sometimes it could be over a long period of time. It could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Many people I talk to have dieted many times. And you've heard people say that losing weight and gaining it back and losing weight and gaining it back is not healthy, but they don't really explain why. And there's been quite a few studies. So I'll share information with you about that because there's a lot of people, and it may include you, who are yo-yoing. We're losing weight only to gain it back, losing weight only to gain it back. And we're talking a significant amount of numbers. When I was looking at the data this morning, right now we have about 74% of all adults are overweight or obese. Okay, that's 3/4 of the adult population in America, and we're not the fattest country. And a lot of people are considered healthy when they go in, even though they may be overweight. There's this big push on body positivity, which I think is great. I think it's to all of our benefit to respect people for where they are. However, I'm not going to be someone that's going to celebrate people who stay overweight, even though by all health markers they may be in a good place. I'm always going to recommend that we get rid of excess body fat. I'm always going to recommend that we get rid of excess body fat. One more time, Robert, tell them again. I always recommend that we get rid of excess body fat. Now, I'm not here to teach our program today. If you want to learn more about that, because we teach people how to eat. We teach people how to eat. It's about education. There's a learning curve. And as you apply it, then you're less likely to regain the weight back. And then the ones who do gain the weight back, what was missing for them is accountability, meaning having a coach. Having a coach. One more time, having a coach. Okay. That's the secret sauce. I mean, you want to have the right plan, something that you can live with. Nobody wants to live a life where you can never eat mac and cheese and enjoy regular everyday food. So learn how to eat. I was talking to someone last night who's a longtime friend, and she wants to lose weight. And I'm like, well, your problem is lack of humility. And she's like, what do you mean lack of humility? I said, I'm your friend, right? She goes, yeah, you're my dear friend. And I said, and you're going to get on the phone and tell me that you need to lose weight and do nothing about it, not ask for my help. She goes, yeah, well, it's money. I said, are we friends? She goes, yeah, we're friends. Have you helped me in the past? She goes, yeah, I've helped you in the past. And so I could help you now. The thing that you're missing is humility. And a lot of people lack humility. I don't know why. People feel like they need to be able to do things on their own. And here we are talking about this beautiful lady, Brandi Mallory, who I first saw years ago on a TV show called Extreme Weight Loss. And I believe she lost about 150 pounds. Now, the autopsy reports came out this morning, okay, today, because she just passed and left us not that long ago. She died on November 9th. I believe that was the date. And 40 years old. And she became really popular for being able to dance and move, and she was all about body positivity, which is, again, I think that's great. But she weight cycled. She would lose weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back. And let me tell you, there are multiple studies that demonstrate, as you can see right here, that demonstrates the negative impact on our health, on our longevity, when we yo-yo diet. So I just find it so sad because it didn't have to be like this. Now, I want you to get a better understanding of who this beautiful lady is. And then I'm going to share with you some information and answer any questions that you have about weight cycling, because many of you are dropping 5-10 pounds, gaining 5-10 pounds back, dropping 5-10 pounds, gaining 5-10 pounds back. And that's where a lot of the studies demonstrate that you are shortening your lifespan. And you may just be just great. I mean, this woman, one of the sad things is that she went to Chipotle to get some food. She went back to her car, got in the car, and she started to eat. That's the last thing we know. They found her in her car dead. And when they did an autopsy, it wasn't a heart attack. It wasn't a stroke. They're saying the cause of death is complications of obesity. That's excess body fat. There's a lot of people dropping with sudden death. I mean, think about that. She had left home, had left some friends, went to just get some food, like each one of us on a regular basis. Sat down in her car to have a quiet moment. Think of people that do that. And now she's no longer here. No longer here. And we know the damage on one's health weight cycling can do. So I want you to watch this short video so you can get to know who she is, and then I'll bring it in, okay?
My name is Brandi Mallory, and I've inspired millions of people through my dancing. I'm a food addict. And just like any other addiction, be it a drug, be it alcohol, mine is food. Weight became an issue early for me. Puberty hit, and I feel like it's skyrocketed, out of control. At school, people always have something to say about the little fat kid, right? I wasn't happy. I was actually angry. Nobody put me in the right position to kind of take hold of my weight. So that hurt me a lot. When I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna go buy me a pint of ice cream. And I'm gonna eat that. That year changed my life forever. Once your mind has been stretched, it can never go back. And that's what that year did for me. I won't ever be who I was before I did that show. But to lose a whole person, I lost 151 pounds on that show. To lose a whole person in 11 months, essentially, that is a huge task to ask of yourself. And it also makes things harder when you come home because I didn't have production paying for my trainer. I didn't have production paying for my meals. You have to find something when you get home that's going to keep you active. It's going to keep you connected to your goals. For me, that's what dance was. It's my happy place. So it gets all dripping wet, and I just took my shirt off. I have worked so hard for this body. It might not look amazing. It might not be rock solid. You can't see abs. It's still moving and jiggling. I don't care because it used to be so much fuller, so much thicker. So many people, bloggers, Olympic athletes were hitting me up. They were all saying that they were proud of the fact that I didn't care. I knew that it was important for me to share what I learned. My end goal is to push people who are struggling, who are morbidly obese, who struggle with their weight, who want to get started, don't know how to get started with their weight loss journey. Food is literally 80% of weight loss. 20% is what you put out in your workout. Find gratitude and be thankful for the fact that you have the body that you have, regardless of what it looks like, because it's your body. You only have one. And if there's something you don't like, literally every day you have the opportunity to choose to change it.
Wow. She's gone too soon, you guys. And it just breaks my heart. It really does. And it breaks my heart that there's not enough people talking about weight cycling. And many of my own clients, I watch them play games with themselves. They get comfortable and it's like drop down 5, 10, 15 pounds. Then, they don't schedule a call with me. They kind of start to get out there a little bit, put things off. Things ain't getting better. Then they feel a little embarrassed to call and schedule a call because their numbers haven't changed. That's why you damn have a coach. Jesus. You have a coach for those reasons. Come on, you guys. Let's get really smart like the elite. Okay. At least in some areas, right? They have coaches. People with money have coaches. I have a program, a VIP discounted program. I make it so affordable. So affordable. And I have a proven record to help people lose. Like this year alone, we've had a few people lose over 150 pounds. We've had 7 people lose over 100 pounds. These are just my clients, not talking about the other coaches and their clients. Getting off meds, feeling better, and staying the course. I mean, come on. Now, there were some things that she shared that I want to speak to. She talked about having moments of feeling like just wanting to overindulge. That ties into that whole weight cycling thing. Now, the one thing I want to point out heavy is that she and all these other people who lose weight, they never learned how to eat. They never learned how to eat. Let me say it one more time. They never learned how to eat. Like last night, right? I was talking to some of my family members who I'm very excited to be working with. And we were going over how to make a fat burning meal. And 2 of my relatives were eating oatmeal, which is a fast carb. They were adding apple to their oatmeal, which is a fast carb. One was having some pineapple with it, which is a fast carb. And I'm stressing fast carb because that is one of the primary reasons, right, why many people gain weight or have a hard time losing it, because the food could be organic. The food you could grow it in your own backyard. But if you're compounding, meaning you're eating multiple fast carbs together, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And I demonstrate this and I teach this. It's unnatural, but we're eating unnatural. See, when someone asks me, okay, well, Robert, how does your program work? I go, well, a big part of our program is teaching you how to eat, how to combine foods in a way that is going to help you better balance two things: glucose, which is sugar in the blood throughout the day, and insulin. Insulin. We want to balance insulin and not over secrete insulin, which is a hormone. That's how our methodology works. That's how the program is helping people be successful. So we made a little adjustment with my cousins, and now they got it. They got it. Now it's just a matter of eating. Weight cycling is real, and it creates a whole bunch of problems. And notice this young lady, Brandy, did not die from a stroke. She did not die from a heart attack. They found a little bit of marijuana in her system. They found a little bit of alcohol. That could have been from the day before. Nothing over the top. And she, again, sitting there eating lunch, and she does a yo-yo. I know someone right now, who is right around the same age as Brandy, who yo-yos, drop 5, 10, maybe 20 pounds, then have moments where she overindulges, gains the weight back, and she don't know how to eat. She don't know how to eat. And then there's no accountability in place. So she's going to weight cycle, thinking that it's all good because on the outside she looks okay. To a lot of people, Brandy was probably still down over 100 pounds. She probably looked okay. But no, she's no longer here. Okay. Anyway, let me see what you guys are saying. So Leith and Leslie, who are clients of mine, they both said that's scary that just bouncing back and forth 5 to 10 pounds is that detrimental. I had no idea, and I apologize. Because if you didn't have any idea and I'm your coach, I'm sorry. I apologize. Everyone would benefit from knowing what weight cycling is and how damaging it is. Unfortunately, doctors won't talk about it. Most of them don't get it. Most of them are challenged themselves. And there's no medication. There's nothing to prescribe when someone weight cycles. You can just give them some words of advice. And then people just keep doing what they're doing. And as many of you are saying, that it's sad. She's so young. Yeah, this is tough. Now, someone asked the question, what do you think about gluten intolerance or dairy intolerance? So many people stay away from those things now. Well, I am not gluten intolerant and I am not dairy intolerant. Now, a large percentage of African Americans, Black folks, do have, they're lactose intolerant. There's quite a few people that are gluten intolerant. But here's the problem with all this. They're avoiding foods that we were accustomed to eat. And many of them are doing it with no data, no proof, nothing to substantiate why they're doing. They're just following the leader, and they think that if it's gluten-free, it must be healthier. They think that if it's dairy-free, it must be healthier. They think if I stop eating fat, that's healthier. They think that eating meat is bad, so I'm going to be a vegan. Again, thinking with no real clear understanding. And unfortunately, this creates like a domino effect when you're avoiding foods that would be helping you, but you're avoiding them because you think they're not good for you. All of this plays a huge role in why so many people are challenged. Let me see. Jamie, what's up, Jamie? Jamie says, I didn't know how bad that could be either. Really puts perspective on some things. Well, the sad part about all of this, Jamie, is that she's no longer here to tell us that she made a mistake. she's no longer here to share with us what maybe she could have done differently. I mean, this woman's full of joy, full of energy. She obviously is full of love. People liked her. She inspired people. I mean, what a bright light she is and was. But she's not here to tell us, hey, wake up. Don't wait cycle. So when we lose these people, and it's happened to me so many times, they're just gone. You know what I mean? It's like you can get in your car like she got in her car. Some of you will go and have lunch, or some of you will drive, sit and breathe, take a breath, have a moment before you walk into the house when you get home today. And you could just die. I mean, hey, when people say, hey, I woke up, I'm standing tall today, I'm thankful. I get that, especially as we all live long enough and see how people can just be taken from us like boom. Maybe you go home, you sit down, you have a bite, you grab a bite, you're about to go in the house and you die. Your husband finds you in the car. I mean, wow, how sad that would be. But it happens. So when you hear stories like this, use stories like this to reinforce that you're on the right path. Use situations and stories like this to remind you of how thankful and appreciative it is to be able to walk, to be able to choose my food, to be able to make some changes. So it creates some new habits. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Instead of playing the game, right? Like I have this one guy client, he does really well. He's got a doctor's appointment coming up at the beginning of the year. And our goal is to get off blood pressure medication. His doctor wants him to take statins. So I'm like, we can do this. And guess what? He keeps having these moments where he starts drinking over the weekend and then overindulges and then feels horrible on Monday. And then he does it again. And then he does it again. The definition of insanity is when you continue to do the same thing, expecting and wanting some different outcomes. Now, I don't believe he's insane, but he obviously needs to have a get real moment, because that doctor's going to put some serious pressure on him when he goes in about, taking some of these meds, because everything that he's been saying he's going to do, he ain't done yet. And some of you guys are in a real good position where you can actually, as of right now, make some changes. Make some changes. So someone from our group says, man, this is sad. She is helping others by example as you teach about what happened. Yeah, she's still helping people. And I hope more people talk about weight cycling, because I believe that this is the foundation to what put her in a position where the cause of death is complications of obesity. I've never even seen that on a coroner's report. Complications of obesity. They're not even saying exactly what it is. Unbelievable. Okay, someone makes a comment. Let's see here. And remember, if you're in our private group and you make a comment, I may not, like if you're in our Diet Free Life group, or if you're in one of our other private groups, what happens is it won't post your name. But like if you're on YouTube or in my public Facebook or LinkedIn, it'll put your name. So if I don't mention your name, I'm not dissing you. I'm not being mean. It's just, it doesn't pop up. So sometimes my clients or the people who are familiar with my shares, they know this and they'll put at the very end like dash in their name. So I can say, hey, Judy. But anyway, let me read what just came in. It says, absolutely true that our food supply, because of all the chemicals, is sick. Yes. The food, a lot of the things that we're eating. But hey, how are you going to know what's beneficial and what's not? You got to get educated. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm all about education. When I have clients that skip a coach call, they're skipping because they're thinking about themselves and their weight, and they're monitoring their success based on that. No, that's just one little part. I have a whole thing I want to bring up with each client I talk to. Something I'm always wanting to teach and share. And then they may have questions and we use it for that. And then we're growing in knowledge. Anyway, let me continue with this post. It says, I was in another country for 3 weeks eating all the things I avoid here, with bread and goat or sheep cheeses and yogurt and even some desserts made from honey. And I lost 3 pounds. Yep. Happens to me. I see it happen all the time. We got to get informed on these ingredients. Get your label detective hat on and continue to become more and more informed. So now this person just said, I'm back home 2 months now and have put 4 pounds back on eating the same way. At home, I have to stay away from some things that cause me to have inflammation. Well, I'm glad you are aware of what to avoid, and congratulations and welcome back. Okay, let me see here. Leslie and my man Lee say, thank you for sharing all this. It's definitely a motivator for staying the course. You know, this young lady, she definitely had fun. Beautiful inside and out. And she's gone. We are all in the position, if you are hearing this, well, we can do things differently. We can do things differently. Whether you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 plus years old. I have clients, my eldest right now is 87. And every time I talk to him, I'm on top of the world. I have another client that's 91 that I talk to every 3 months or so. But when I met her, she was in her 70s, early 70s. And now it's 20 years later, she's still living her best and healthiest life. She started in her 70s. I'll never forget. Her name is B. When B called me out of nowhere, she saw one of my, I had an ad, and I don't run many ads, but I had an ad, and she reached out and says, is this true? Is this possible? And I live in a city called Ventura, California. She lived in Santa Barbara. So it's about a 35-minute drive. So then we didn't do like a lot of virtual coaching. So she jumped in her car, came up, met with me, and became a client. And we became extremely successful. And what? It's been over 20 years. She's still my client. And I'll get a call from B. Hey, I'm around. I want to get a coaching session in, because she travels a lot. And remember, she's 91 years old. And as soon as we get on the phone, she says the same thing, probably for the last 10 years. She goes, all right, Robert, what's new? What's in? That's new. What's out? That is now we can look at as old. We start there. Because she was there in 2005 when I said, hey, grapeseed oil would be okay. But she knows today, 18 years later, I go, nope, stay away from grapeseed oil. Do not use grapeseed oil. The data, the evidence is clear. We know that grapeseed oil is not your friend. So she's been on the ride with me. And I don't see myself or her, I don't see that ending at all. I've been with her through COVID. I coached her, gave her advice, put her ahead of the game, shared with her information that most people weren't aware of at that point. She saw my fascination and love, 15 years ago with the gut microbiome. She's been on the ride with me. So there you go. All right, you guys, any other questions before I say goodbye? Again, weight cycling, I shared, there's some studies. You can go to PubMed. You can go look around at some different things, and you'll see that, weight cycling is real. And to gain 5 pounds, lose it, gain 8 pounds, lose it, it does take a toll on your overall health. We know that. We know that through many randomized controlled trials. But yet no one really talks about it. And then you have those people that are like, well, I'm going to do the weight loss drug thing. And they have no idea. You guys, you'll be watching me next year. There's already been quite a few deaths. You'll start to see more problems with the gut. Actually, you know what? While I brought it up, I'm going to end by sharing with you guys a real situation with one of my clients. It just happened. You guys want to hear this? Okay. And then I'll be done. Right. So so I have this client, and this is about I've been working with for about 3-4 months. And so this client doesn't have much weight to lose. Like, she looks amazing, but she hired me more from the wanting to learn about nutrition. She doesn't want to gain weight, and she just wants to really like be informed. And so I'm coaching her, and one day I get a phone call, emergency call, and she's crying on the phone. She's in pain. And she's talking about how she's in pain and she's been vomiting and it's been absolutely horrible. She's got a movie that she's doing right now, and she really needs to be at her best tomorrow. And what can I do? So after I listened to everything, in my mind, I was going, this is interesting, because it sounds like what I've experienced with other people who are taking Ozempic or one of these weight loss drugs. You don't hear about this, you guys, but people are walking around sick. Most people who are taking those drugs, they're sick. They have no desire to eat. And that's why they're losing weight. And they're losing the wrong weight. And what they don't know, and specifically, depending on if they exercise and what their age is, they're going to be more sick. And that'll all start to show up in the next year or two. You're going to see way more complications. You're going to see less people surviving cancer. Just nothing but bad is coming. So I'm thinking it's that, but I know I've been coaching her, so it can't be that drug. So I just gave her some recommendations. I checked on her. The next morning, she was feeling a little bit better. We kind of did a food elimination, so she wasn't eating much. We were eating a little bit of crackers, drinking a little bit of water, but that was it. So then another week goes by, and now she's feeling better. And she calls me again, and she goes, there's something I need to tell you. And I'm like, yeah, what's that? And there's a little bit more that went on between these two calls. But she told me she was taking Ozempic. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah, everybody in Hollywood takes it. And I was like, and then she says, and I realized it was Ozempic because since I started feeling better, I took it again. And then right after that, I went into the whole thing of vomiting. I was in pain, and it lasted another couple days. And so I was like, Robert is right. I got to stop taking this. And I didn't even know she was taking it. So when you see your friends and they've lost weight and it looks like it's working out for them, trust me, it ain't working out for them. They're not telling you everything. They're not. Okay. So now you know if you didn't know. I mean, it is what it is. Okay. So before I say bye, someone just put in same with statin drugs to lower cholesterol. Yes. Let's get off these drugs. Anyway, rest in peace, beautiful Brandi Mallory. I've never got a chance to meet this woman, but I consider her an inspiration. I'm happy that she inspired a lot of people. And I'm sharing her story because I want to inspire you guys to not weight cycle, but to find a way to establish a lifestyle. And lifestyle literally means something that you won't have to change. It's something that you can live with. Nutrition is very important. Same as being active is very important. And learning how to eat and putting things in place so that you're able to remain consistent with the way you eat. Then it is a lifestyle. Because if I'm on carnivore 1 week and then I'm not, if I'm on keto 3 months later and then I'm not, if I'm going with delivery food constantly and then I'm not, what are you doing? You're going for all of these crazy ways of eating because you don't know how to eat. Same as intermittent fasting. People do that because they don't know how to eat. And I can get you hundreds of my clients to talk to you how they ate breakfast every day. How one of their challenges was, I feel like I'm eating all the time because they're eating 3 meals in a day. So anyway, you guys rock. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, whoever that is. It says, thank you, Robert, as always. best content. I appreciate you guys. Okay. I'm Robert Ferguson. I share because I care. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. You can email my assistant, Lori, Lori, at dietfreelife.com. You can email me directly, Robert at dietfreelife.com. And if you want a place to start, if you want an idea, go take our quiz. We have a free quiz at dietfreelife.com. Take the quiz. We always look over it. We'll send you an email. You can reply if you want. You can learn more about how we can help you. Be honest, and we'll give you honest feedback and then go from there. All right. So until the next one, you guys rock and roll. And the next one will be within 24 hours. Until then, peace.